What's good, you guys? It's your boy Pretty Boy Floyd, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the tricks that your brain will play on you when you're dieting. Now, you guys might be looking at me crazy because I'm like it's like my brain is like trying to tell you what my brain will do in order to trick me. But let me explain real quick. So when you're dieting, you have to realize that like you're no longer agreeing to and you're no longer trying to listen to your body, and you're kind of not doing things naturally. Like when you start dieting, it is controlled starvation. So what you're doing is that you are not listening to your hunger signals. You're choosing to not listen to your hormones. Hormones influence the way that we think. Certain hormones actually control our hunger levels, such as leptin and ghrelin. And I'll put some pictures up here of what those mean and what they are, but you could also Google search leptin and ghrelin. I can make a whole separate video on that, but this video would be way too long if I started talking about different hormones and things like that. But basically, when you are dieting, you need to recognize better. As a matter of fact, let me just sum it all up. Stop listening to your brain. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, stop listening to your, well, maybe stop listening to your body, basically. You need to learn how to separate yourself from your body and realize that like this is controlled starvation. Look at yourself as an experiment. And I hope that I'm like saying this in a way that you guys can understand, because it's kind of a hard thing to articulate. But if you've dieted for a while, you know what I'm talking about. You need to stop listening to your body when it's hungry. And you need to get away from like the natural state that it's in. Once you start dieting, it's basically like you're just not natural anymore. Like you're not functioning like 90% of the world. I was about to say 80, but 90% of the world does not like pay attention that much to dieting, and they don't realize that the brain can actually play tricks on you in order for you to eat more. So I'm about to go into 3 sayings and 3 statements that you're probably going to say in your head that you need to not listen to, because what your brain is trying to do is it's trying to get you to eat more. Now, if you guys are dieting and say if you're tracking food, which you should be doing, like I said, you're an experiment. You should be taking care of yourself as if like you're a scientific experiment. So in order for you to get the results that you want, you need data points. The more data points that you have, the more validated your study is, and the better the outcome can be. So this is why we track everything, and I can go into a whole separate video on that because that's going to be way too long too. So this is one thing that my brain likes to tell me, and I know a lot of other people's brains probably tell them, and it's like, what? I ate X amount of calories and I'm still hungry right now. Like I feel so hungry right now. Like I feel like I haven't eaten anything. Like I remember just yesterday, like I hit this amount of calories and I was so full, I could go to sleep satisfied. Now I feel like I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night hungry, that I'm just so hungry. So let me explain this. So let me explain this in the best way I can. So when you're dieting down, if you're smart about it, what you will do is that you will look for voluminous foods. Voluminous foods are foods that are low in calorie but high in volume. Basic example is salads. I'm gonna give you guys a little diet trick that I do, and I actually learned this from Matt Ogus when he was prepping for his show. He will take a Chipotle bowl, and then he'll take like a big mixing bowl, and he'll like take like a whole bunch of spinach or lettuce, which is like maybe like 20 calories for like a decent sized box of it, and put that on the bottom of the bowl, and then take the Chipotle bowl and then dump it on top. Now what this does is that it negligibly changes the amount of calories. What I mean by that is it maybe adds 20 calories, but you're getting so much food. So this is an example of volumizing your food. And this is something that we tend to do when we're dieting. We look for things that are low in calories but can satiate us. Another food that I could think of is oatmeal. It's small but effective. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to eat that much oatmeal, but you know that when you eat a bowl of oatmeal in the morning, like it satisfies you for a long time. So not only are we looking for voluminous foods to fill us up physically, but we're also looking for things to satiate us, you know, on a deeper level, not even on a physical level, but almost on an emotional level. You know, something that satiates us. So something on a physical level that satiates us, you know, okay, that was a good amount of food. Then something emotional that satiates us is that, like, okay, that tasted really good. Like, I really like that. So it has to have a really good, like, taste profile. And then the other thing is physiologically. Now, physiologically is something that's going to affect you way down the road. And you're not really going to feel the physiological effects until you've been doing it consistently over time. A lot of people who are at a low body fat percentage can actually attest to this, which is that, like, they feel this exact same way. It's that, like, yo, I feel like I ate more food yesterday and I ate the same amount of calories, and even I ate the same foods yesterday. Why do I feel so hungry today? You're starting to feel the physiological effects of dieting for a long period of time and being in that deficit for a long period of time. So for a while, you're going to be tricking the body physically and emotionally. You're going to be physically satisfying it because you're eating a lot of voluminous foods, and you're going to be emotionally satisfying it because, yo, if you know how to cook, then you're going to make those voluminous foods taste good. But physiologically, that's when you stop tricking the body and the body starts tricking you. You know what I mean? That's when the body starts to recognize, like, okay, hold on, I haven't been able to store that much energy as I used to. Like, I thought, you know, since I was physically full, you know, like, I thought since I was physically full, you know, for this long amount of time that I was good. But in actuality, I'm not. I actually haven't been getting that many calories as I need to. Like, yo, we need more calories. That's what's gonna happen. Like, yo, we need more calories. Like we need more calories, running low on calories. This entire time I thought we were good because I've been so full and it's been taking me so long to digest this food. Like, I thought we would be good for a minute, but no, we're not. Like, we actually need more calories. That's like exactly what I just said. Like, in that past like minute is what's going on in your body when it's, you know, because your body is very dynamic and it's constantly storing and burning fat. Over time, you trick it emotionally and physically. Physiologically, I mean, none of us could really fight that. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you're fighting like years of genetic like development. Like it's just like, you just the best thing that you can do is to recognize it and fight through it. You know what I mean? So basically, I just want to bring that to y'all's awareness, is that like some days you're gonna look on MyFitnessPal, you're gonna look at the food that you ate, and you're like, yo, I ate the exact same thing yesterday. Like, I swear, like, I swear I was full. What's happening? And it's your brain playing tricks on you, you know? So this is why a lot of people who aren't that experienced in dieting, but they're trying to come from a good place, a lot of people will tell you, don't eat a lot when you're dieting because it's gonna stretch your stomach. And I was actually one of these people, and I was actually, a lot of people have actually told me that. And for a while I thought it was true, like, damn, maybe I shouldn't be eating this much because it's gonna be physically stretching my stomach, then my stomach gets, you know, used to it or whatever. But I just explained why that is, and it's not because your body gets used to it, or I don't know, in a way, I guess it just recognizes that you're tricking it. You know what I'm saying? So everything I just said just explained why you might feel like your stomach is stretched and you can't fill it up anymore. Like, no. Just replay the fucking video back again. I'm not gonna say it again. But what I'm saying is that, like, okay, cool. Now you're knowledgeable about it. Now you know that why your body and why your brain is telling you that. So now when it comes up again, and now when you look on your MyFitnessPal and you see that, like, yo, you already hit your calories, but why are you so hungry? You know, you never felt this hungry before. It's been working for this long. What's different today? That's why. It's because now your body has caught up to you, but now it's trying to trick you. So now that you're knowledgeable about it, now you can be aware about it, now you can jump over that hurdle. And this is a lot, like, I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about this or maybe explain it in depth this much. You know what I'm saying? Because if I would have known this, that this was like one of the hurdles I need to go over, it would make my weight loss a lot easier, and it would help out a lot easier. So I hope I'm helping you guys out. And if I am, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below, share it with somebody. But we're about to get into 2 more sayings that your brain will say. And again, you guys, how I'm talking is going to sound a little crazy, I know, but stick with me, because when you're dieting, remember, it's almost as if you're disassociating yourself from yourself. Like, you have to look at yourself on the outside in, and like you have to view yourself in a different perspective. This is your body. You've been given this body, and you know what I'm saying? Use it to its advantage. The next saying that you're gonna say is "fuck it." You're gonna say "fuck it." All right? Do I have to keep on saying that? Like, you're gonna say "fuck it." Fuck it. Like, I can, what, like, you're gonna be at a birthday party, you're gonna say, you know, fuck it, I can eat a piece of cake. You know, somebody brings home a box of donuts. I've been dieting so long, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna eat the donuts. Like, it's apparent, like, I think this is a universal saying that everybody says when they're dieting, especially when they know that they've been putting a lot of work and they know they've been going pretty hard about it. One day you're gonna say fuck it, because willpower just comes from one source, which is you. And willpower runs out from time to time. We know that, we're humans, you know what I'm saying? It's like we run on a battery. Everything like that you do, like, you need, at some point it's going to be drained and you need to take a break and rest. And trust me, I'm an advocate of having, you know, cheat meals or even a cheat day or letting loose sometimes. And there's nothing wrong with saying fuck it. There's nothing wrong with saying fuck it in life, like, every now and then. There's nothing wrong with it. But I just want you to recognize that your body's saying fuck it because, like, you've been putting it through physiological stress, psychological, emotional stress by, like, going through this dieting thing and restricting yourself. Now, if you're saying fuck it too much and it's starting to hinder your progress, then you need to back up and replan. Because when you're dieting, the goal of dieting and the goal of it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So you need to find the foods that you love, but you could still hit your goals with. And a lot of people don't understand what I mean by that, because they think that, like, when you diet you have to eat these boring and bland foods. The number one reason why you eat boring and bland foods is because you can't cook. Like, it's because you can't cook, and you think that the only way that you're going to get good foods is if somebody else cooks it, you know what I'm saying? Or you feel like when you do cook something, it comes out terrible or whatever. And that's why it's very important that you educate yourself and that you know how to cook. You need to be self-sustainable. You know what I'm saying? Like, 80% of us watching this video are probably adults. Like, a part of being an adult is knowing how to cook and provide for yourself and knowing how to eat. So if the foods that you're eating are bland and they're boring and they don't taste good, you need to find some new recipes and you need to get good at cooking. This will minimize the fuck it's. I'm not going to say fuck it's will go away forever, but this will definitely minimize it. So for example, if you feel like the only way that you can make a good burger is to go to McDonald's or go to Burger King or go to some fancy ass restaurant to get burgers, you know, that taste good, you're terribly wrong. Like, you can get 96.4 lean ground beef, season it up, put some cheese on that bitch, put some lettuce on that joint, put a runny egg on, like, you could freak it any way that you want to, put some bacon on, like, you know, just go crazy with it. But again, that comes with knowledge, because I know that there's leaner ground beef out there. I know that there's low carb buns out there. Like, the things that they're serving you at the restaurant are probably like 80-20 lean ground beef, which is like 400, maybe even 500 calories per patty. And then 96 for lean ground beef is like 140 calories per patty. Like, that's a significant difference, you know? And they taste the same, you know what I mean? I know for me, like having a lot of like fatty, greasy foods, it actually like negatively affects me. Like it makes my throat feel weird. I know that sounds weird, but like it just makes me feel weird. It makes me feel heavy, whatever. Totally different video. I'm not even gonna go into that. But what I'm saying is that, like, say you go to a restaurant and you have a burger that has all this like shit on it, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like I don't know how I'm going to be able to make this at home. Bro, I do go to restaurants and I do go out to eat, but what I have to realize and recognize is that, oh, okay, yeah, this burger, it was really good, like, but it was probably like 1,000 calories. I can probably go home and make that same burger for maybe 400 calories or so. You know what I mean? Like, once you become knowledgeable and know like the basics and fundamentals of how to cook, you can go to a restaurant, come back home with that newfound knowledge of what you just experienced, and then make it in your own way. You know what I mean? But again, that comes with like you experimenting, and yes, you have to learn how to cook. I mean, I don't know why like so many people, I can understand why people don't want to cook, but just know that like if you know how to cook, it's gonna help you out tremendously. You know what I mean? Like, now you have knowledge. What's the saying that Jesus said? You could teach a man how to, if you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. But if you teach a man how to fish, he eats for life. Same shit. Learn how to cook. That's what I'm saying. Learn how to cook, and you'll minimize the fuck it's. Another thing with fuck it's is that when you do say fuck it, like how I said, it's okay to have fuck it's every now and then. I have fuck it's every now and then. I have cheat days, cheat meals every now and then. You know what I mean? But I don't have them so often that it messes with my progress. So when it comes to the fuck it's, when you say fuck it, I'm going to eat a cookie, fuck it, I'm going to eat a donut. That's fine, eat the donut. But know that like you're not just going to eat one donut. You're not just going to eat one cookie. You're not just going to eat like the serving size in a bag of chips. You're not just going to eat 5 chips. You're going to keep on going. So in order to kind of stop the fuck it's, you need to physically track it. You need to track what you're eating. And something that I try to imagine when I'm going on these fuck it binges, and yes, I have binge days too, or whatever, and I can't remember the last time I had a binge day, but it has been a while. But let's just say that you go on to a binge, right? You need to remind yourself that binging is like, it's like taking a run from home. Like say you're like, oh, I'm gonna run a mile away from home. You know, say you want to go on a morning run. You say, oh, I want to run a mile. All right, cool. So then you go outside and you run a mile. You're not actually going to run a mile. You're going to run 2 miles because now you got to run back. Same thing when you start going on these binges and when you keep eating and eating and eating. If you go over 500 calories, cool. That's cool. As a matter of fact, if you're in a deficit enough, you might still be in a deficit, or that might be maintenance calories, or you could go over a little bit. I don't know. But say if you go over like 1,000 calories, now it's like, okay, that's a little bad. I mean, it's not a little bad, but it's just like, you know, whatever. Go over 2,000 calories. Damn. It's going to take your body a while to come back. It's going to take your body a while to bounce back. And the worst thing that you can do actually is to say like, lower your food intake for the next couple of days, or like go really hard on a treadmill or whatever, and try to like exercise all of that off in order to compensate for like what you did. That's probably the worst way that you can do it, because like it's like when you it's like when you do that, it's very funny what you'll do, because then it sort of creates this habit of like going extreme, like in both directions. Like you'll fucking binge and then you'll purge. Like it's a purge binge cycle. You know what I mean? Like you'll binge on food, eat like 5,000 calories, then you'll purge and try to run a marathon tomorrow. You know what I mean? And like it'll just create this cycle, because like you create like this huge surplus of food. Okay, now you're trying to compensate for this huge deficit in exercise, knowing that you can't keep up with the huge deficit in exercise, and at one point you're gonna come to reality and say, I can't do this much exercise all the fucking time, but I damn sure can eat a lot all the time, and then you're gonna end up in a worse place. Does that make sense? I hope I elaborated on the fuckets enough. Another thing that your body's gonna do is you're gonna look in the mirror and you're gonna say, oh my gosh, I look so bloated, I look so fat, I look puffy, I feel like I look the same as when I started. And this is actually why a lot of people joke around and say that, like, once you start like dieting and like getting into like body recompositioning or bodybuilding, or like once you start wanting to change your body, you almost develop body dysmorphia. And I'm not saying, and I'm not an expert. Look, I fucking forgot. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a professional expert. I'm not a professional anything. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. You start to develop a little bit of body dysmorphia, and what I mean by that is like you can't recognize the changes. And as a matter of fact, family and friends sometimes aren't really good indicators of that either. A lot of you guys are probably on this journey, and a lot of your family and friends probably don't agree with you going on with this weight loss journey and want you to stay the same. And some things that they say may be destructive. And one of those things that they'll say that might be destructive is that I don't see a difference. You look the same. And like, they could be doing this on purpose. They could be saying this to you on purpose, or they could be saying this on accident. Because a lot of times with friends and family, depending on the person that they are, it's really different. I've heard mixed things on this, but when it comes to friends and family, either they can't see a difference because they see you every day, or they can see a difference because they see you every day and they know what you look like. There's two different sides to it. Like, there's two different answers that you can get from it. Like how I said, either they could tell you that they see change, or they could tell you that they don't see change. And the most humane way, and the most and the way that I want to think about it to give people the benefit of the doubt is that they could be saying that they're seeing a change because they see you every day and they can notice a change, or they can tell you that they don't see a difference in you at all because they see you every day and the changes that you're making are so slight that the only way for you to see those changes is to look back on what you did. See, sometimes they say that you don't know what you're doing until you stop doing it. That was actually in a Lil Wayne song that I heard. It was Nightmares from the Bottom. And I was like, yo, that's some real shit. But exactly, you don't know what you're doing until you stop doing it. So I've said this in the past too. It's like ripping off a sheet of paper towel every day. When you rip off a sheet of paper towel every day, you're gonna be like, I don't see a difference. You know what I'm saying? But say if you take a picture of that sheet of paper towel on day 1 versus like day 30, you're gonna see a difference. You know what I'm saying? So looking at yourself in the mirror every day, are you gonna see a difference? Probably not. Like, you keep on looking at yourself in the mirror every day, but I mean, hell, who could help it? You know what I'm saying? Like, looking in the mirror every day. So I totally understand that, but this is the importance of taking pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I look at my old videos and I'm like, fuck, I was fat. And then I look at them again, I'm like, fuck, I was lean. And like, you know what I'm saying? But while I'm making these videos, like, in the present moment, I don't think anything of it. If anything, like, I think that I might look a little too fat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might be like, oh man, I'm looking fat, whatever. And then like, once I actually like gain weight, then I'm like, oh, whoa, I wasn't fat. This is fat. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, fuck. This whole thing is a fucking labyrinth. That's what you need to realize. This whole thing is a fucking labyrinth. And it's a fucking, like, you're gonna drive yourself insane. Like me. I think that's it. For this video. This video has helped you out. Share it with somebody. Comment down below anything that your brain says that like tricks you to like make you eat more and not keep you shredded, or like not get you shredded, and keep you away from your goals. So yeah, man. I hope you guys like this video. Remember, like the video because it helps with the YouTube algorithm. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.